cover story tonight, what was feared has come to pass. 39 Indian workers missing in Iraq since the Islamic State overran Mosul in 2014 are now confirmed dead. Sushma Swaraj, Minister of External Affairs in India, told Parliament that DNA samples sent last year had been matched with the remains of the Indians. There's closure, some would say, for the families, but little hope for justice. WION's West Asia Bureau Chief Daniele Pagani reports.
3 years after the trail of the 39 Indian workers ran cold, V.K. Singh, Minister of State of External Affairs, was in Mosul in October 2017, shortly after the city was recaptured by Iraqi government forces from the Islamic State.
Indians were in Mosul when the Islamic State, one of the most brutal terrorist organizations, moved into the city in 2014, and reports say that they were either dead or perhaps held captive in a jail close to Mosul in Badoush. But there was no evidence to support these reports. V.K. Singh was carrying DNA samples the government of India took from the families of the 39 Indians.
It would be matched with the scores of bodies recovered from a mass grave found south of Mosul, and another containing the remains of at least 600 bodies found near Badoush prison not far from Mosul. Sushma Swaraj has confirmed the remains were found in a mass grave in Badoush. This does suggest the Indians may have been killed in 2014 itself, when the Islamic State is known to have emptied the Badoush prison, separated the Shia Muslim prisoners, Yazidis and Christians from the Sunnis, taken them to the desert and shot them dead. There were various reports that the Indians were being used as manual labor by the Islamic State for transporting supplies including arms and ammunition and various other functions. But these reports were largely based on hearsay, and given the ongoing conflict there was no way to verify any of these claims. What happens now? The priority for the government is to get the remains of the Indians back, so there is closure for their families. V.K. Singh is expected to be in Baghdad soon, where the remains of the Indians have been brought.
There is the question of justice. Who will ensure justice for the 39 Indians and for their families? Technically it should be the Iraqi government, but the Iraqi government is trying to find a way to keep together a country shattered by many years of war and then of civil war, where families, neighbors and friends turned against each other and became enemies. It won't be easy in this scenario to find the ones who killed the 39 Indians. And for all we know, the killers of the 39 Indians could be dead, but they could also be on the run or hiding in one of the last desert bases that the Islamic State has. Daniele Pagani from Amman, Jordan, for WION.
Well, justice may not be on top of the minds of Indian lawmakers. Their priority is politics. And as I said earlier, it doesn't spare anyone, not even the dead. We saw proof in the Indian Parliament today. As the External Affairs Minister, the Foreign Minister confirmed the death of 39 Indians, the opposition benches rose in protest. There was much shouting and mudslinging. It was a moment of shame. The attempt to turn a tragedy into a political opportunity. This is what happened today.
हम सब जानते हैं कि वर्ष 2015 के जून महीने में इराक में हमारे 39 भारतीय ISIS के द्वारा बंधक बना दिए गए थे। आज मेरे पास दोनों बातों के पक्के सबूत हैं। पहला कि हरजीत मसीह की कहानी सच्ची नहीं थी, और दूसरा, भारी मन से कह रही हूँ, वो लोग मार दिए गए हैं।
A statement that broke the heart of India. 39 precious lives lost to terror on foreign soil. India is seething with anger, but look what parliamentarians are doing. She is Sumitra Mahajan, Speaker of the House. Lawmakers are supposed to follow her instructions. But do they?
Something different she wants to. Please listen to me. She wants. मेरी बात भी नहीं सुनोगे.
Of course, this was not the first time that Mahajan was dealing with unruly lawmakers, but it was a different day. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj wanted to make an announcement.
She wants to inform about the Mosul's 39 people state. She wants to inform that, at least listen to that. उसको भी नहीं सुनना चाहेंगे. क्या कर रहे हैं वो? मौसूल की बात नहीं सुनना चाहेंगे. No, this is not proper.
अध्यक्ष जी, ऐसा विषय नहीं है जिसे मैं शोर शराबे में रखना चाहूंगी. मैं आपके माध्यम से सभी सांसदों से करबद्ध निवेदन करना चाहती हूं कि मैं एक अशुभ सूचना संसद को देना चाहती हूं जो शोर शराबे में नहीं दे सकती.
The situation was no better in Rajya Sabha, where commotion started as soon as Sushma Swaraj declared the Indians kidnapped in Iraq were dead.
What is happening to this house? You don't even have minimum courtesies. What is happening to this house? You don't even have minimum courtesies.
Opposition parties want to bring a no-confidence motion against the Narendra Modi government. But can they claim to have India's confidence when they are not capable of mourning the dead? Bureau Report, WION.
So is the government really at fault? Did they take this case seriously? Could they have done more? External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj today said that her ministry led a tireless effort to locate the missing Indians. Rebutting claims made by the opposition, the minister also said that the government could not have reached a conclusion and declared 39 people dead without concrete evidence.
3 वर्षों तक मेरा स्टैंड यही रहा. मैं 2014 में भी कह रही हूं मेरे पास ना सबूत जिंदा होने का है ना मरने का, और 2017 में भी ये कह रही हूं कि ना सबूत जिंदा होने का है ना मरने का. तो मैंने किसे अंधेरे में रखा? तो मैं कहना चाहूंगी कि जो लोगों को ये शायद ये लग रहा है कि लाखों शव पड़े थे, हमने कोई गुमराह करने के लिए कोई से 39 पकड़ा दिए और हम कह देंगे कि लो हम तो ये बॉडीज ले आए. नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं. वो पाप होता किसी और की बॉडी ये कह करके पकड़ा देना कि मुझे फाइल क्लोज करनी है. ये पाप हम कभी नहीं करेंगे.
Gathering evidence was a challenging task for the Indian government from the word go. Sushma Swaraj did say that the bodies were detected during Junior Minister V.K. Singh's visit to Badush a few months back. These bodies were found 25 kilometers from Mosul under a mound. They were spotted using deep penetration radars.
जब वो शव निकल करके आए तो पहला प्रमाण मिला कि संख्या 39 थी. उस टीले में दफनाए गए लोगों की संख्या 39 थी. 39 शव निकले. ये पहला प्रमाण था. दूसरा प्रमाण था उसमें से कुछ लंबे बाल निकले, क्योंकि इसमें कुछ सिख बंधु थे. लंबे बाल निकले. एक कड़ा निकला जो सिख धर्म के लोग पहनते हैं. और हमारे जो डीएनए सैंपल दिए गए थे उन डीएनए सैंपल से उन्होंने उनका मैचिंग शुरू की. तो आज उन्होंने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस की. थोड़ी लेट हो गई, इंडिया टाइम शायद 2:30 बज गया था तब तक जब हुई, लेकिन उन्होंने जो बात मैंने कही थी राज्यसभा में उसको पूरी तरह से उसकी पुष्टि की कि हमारे पास जो डीएनए सैंपल्स आए थे उनमें से 38 have been identified, 1 is under process.
The government of India said that it has been working on securing the release. It had been rather on securing the release of these people since Mosul was liberated from ISIS a few months back. Before that, remember, there was no access to this region and no representative of the Islamic State to negotiate with. For more than 3 years now, the government has held hope of finding these 39 missing Indians, hoping against hope, some would say, that they may have survived. Like any responsible authority, the supporters of the government say that it chose to break the bad news only when all options had been exhausted and there was evidence to prove that these men were indeed dead. This, in fact, is not the first of its kind situation that the government is dealing with. Irrespective of which party has been in power, India has in the past played an active role in negotiating the release of citizens captured in Iraq and elsewhere. A group of 46 nurses, Indian nurses, was freed in July 2014 after they were trapped by the Islamic State for more than a week. Despite the huge risk to their lives, several jobless workers travel from India to Iraq from time to time. They're lured by higher salaries. The government has issued many advisories. Travel to Iraq, remember, was also banned after the war broke out. But several citizens have chosen to ignore these warnings and they continue to put their lives in danger. And this is not limited to Iraq. According to numbers released by the Indian government last year, more than 24,000 Indians are currently living in 6 war-torn countries. As of last year, 11,000 Indians were reportedly still living in Iraq. In a reply to the lower house, the government, the External Affairs Minister, said that an estimated 8,000 Indian citizens are in Lebanon, nearly 3,000 are still in Afghanistan. All of these arguments, of course, this analysis will sound irrelevant for those families who have waited for 4 years. Every new image from Iraq dimmed their hope over the months. When Mosul was liberated last year, they petitioned the government to find the missing. Months later, their worst nightmare has come true. WION met with some of the families of the victims on this difficult day.
In far-flung Hoshiarpur in India's northern state of Punjab, the family of Kamaljeet is inconsolable. He was one of the 39 Indians who had gone to Iraq to make a living, but was killed by the Islamic State. Kamaljeet's grieving mother Santosh Kumari ran from pillar to post for any word on her son. She says her pleas went unheard.
We got a phone call. She asked us to watch the news. I told her we don't have electricity at the moment. She said no one is telling us clearly. Some are saying they are alive. Some say they have passed away. Sushma Swaraj has not spoken to us. She has not given us an appointment yet.
The 39 Indian construction workers went missing in 2014. They were kidnapped by the Islamic State. The Indian government launched a diplomatic effort to locate them, but they were futile. Preetpal Sharma was one of the 39 Indians who was abducted by the Islamic State. He had left his home in 2011 to work in Iraq. Back home in India, in the last 4 years, not a day has gone by without his family praying for some news of him. But their hopes were dashed today.
We had faith in the government. What can we say now? We don't know anything.
External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj was personally overseeing India's efforts to locate and bring back these missing Indians. Sushma Swaraj had even met with their families last year. But the distraught families now criticize the government for giving them false hopes. Ranjit Singh's family is shattered and speechless. These families have been clinging on to hope for the last 4 years. They've left no stone unturned in their search for their loved ones. These 39 Indians had left India to earn better wages for their work. The Iraqi authorities have discovered their bodies from a mass grave in Badoosh. India will send Junior Minister for External Affairs V.K. Singh to bring the bodies back home. Bureau Report, WION.
WION was the first Indian channel to travel to Mosul and report on this story. WION correspondent Daniele Pagani, while reporting from Iraq, had tried to retrace the last steps of the missing Indian citizens in Mosul. WION has also paid a visit to the jail, or what remains of that jail, where they were reportedly taken. In this next report, we revisit Daniele's stories from Mosul, decoding the challenges faced both by Iraqi and Indian authorities.
So this is the road which leads to the Syrian border, basically 100 kilometers. So down to this road you'll meet the Syrian border. And here, what we can see, all this smashed building, this grounded area, which is right here, a couple of 100 meters at my left, was the jail of Badoosh, the former jail of Badoosh. This was a place which was used by the Islamic State to imprison many people, perhaps to torture them. And now it's completely destroyed. There is nothing anymore we can see. It looks like a flatland. One even has to struggle to find out the structure of the city. And right behind there, those houses we see far away, there are some trees, there is a big cement factory where a huge battle was going on. That's Badoosh. That's a village, 16 kilometers from Mosul, where the Indian government got intelligence from the Iraqi government saying that perhaps the 39 Indians were brought there. There is currently no military operation ongoing in the village of Badoosh. There is also a military base where US troops are staying along with the Iraqi troops. So there is no actual danger right now. And I'm sorry to say, but perhaps the intelligence hint that the Indian government received talking about the jail where the Indians could possibly be might not be extremely accurate, because the jail is not standing. They might refer to an informal jail in one of the buildings in Baidosh, but Baidosh is now controlled by the Iraqi army. So we will try to find out, talking with the Iraqi army, if they know anything about the 39 Indian missing. Inside the city of Mosul, in the Jamia district, and behind me there is the University Lake Towers complex. This is where the 39 Indian workers who got abducted by the Islamic State in 2014 were working. What we know from local sources is that the Islamic State, when they conquered the city, they also took control over this area and they started dismantling the building in order to sell all the material, the cement, the iron and the steel which was here. Behind me you can see the stadium in which the 39 Indians were seen working. They were not alone, there were many other workers from many other countries, but these 39 Indians could not manage to escape in 2014 when the Islamic State conquered the city of Mosul. The structure is unfinished, they were still working when the Islamic State came, and it lies now within a pile of rubble which is the western part of the city of Mosul. In order to reach this point where I am standing, we have been driving through at least, I would say, 1 kilometer, and everything is destroyed. Houses are grounded, there is nothing which is left standing. This is how the old city of Mosul, the western part of Mosul, looks like, and it'll take ages for the Iraqi government to put this city back on track. Daniele Pagani and journalist Martin Aim from Mosul. This is one of the main roads in Mosul, and behind me we can see one example of the level of destruction of the city. So when we talk about the 39 Indians who got abducted from Mosul by the Islamic State in 2013, and we talk about how difficult it could possibly be to find them either dead or alive, this is where the security forces will need to search. Even removing the entire amount of rubble in the city will be very problematic. We obviously hope they are alive, but we're also afraid that they are no more. Perhaps they are still in Mosul, or perhaps they are somewhere either in Iraq or Syria.